Hi YouTube, it's me and I am here for my, I think it's week 17 post-op update, and I'm trying a new video situation here. I got a new tripod and it kind of sucks, so I'm hoping it doesn't like fall over in the middle of my video. Anyway, I set it up a little bit further away so you can see a little bit more of me. I'm kind of wearing a baggy shirt today, so it's not really a full representation, but yeah, there you go. Okay, so I have a lot to cover, and so let's get started. So for the numbers this week, I wrote a little list so I don't forget what I'm supposed to say here. This last week, I did a lot of exercise. I'm going to start by saying that. I also ate really well. If anything, I ate less than I usually do, which, I'm still not convinced that that doesn't hurt you in the long run if you eat too little. Anyway, so the results of last week could possibly be as a result of that, maybe eating a little bit too less. Anyway, so last week I lost a total of 1.8 pounds, which, it's kind of a small number, and that's okay. I tend to kind of fluctuate. I'll have one really good week where I'll lose a lot, and then the next week I'll lose a little number. So I'm just kind of chalking that up. Sorry, like it's cutting off the top of my head. I need to like scoot down a little bit. That's a little bit better. Now I'm slouching, but anyway. Hi. so yeah, 1.8 pounds total last week for my complete and total weight loss of 81.5. So I made it to the 80 pounds. Yay. That's exciting. 81 pounds, 81 and a half pounds. I'm less than 20 pounds away from doing my 100-pound video. Got to think of some good ideas for that. Alright, so I talked about the food. I did really well eating last week, although I think I maybe ate not quite enough protein, maybe not quite enough calories, so I need to work on that for the coming week. I added in a lot of exercise. I've been swimming really regularly, which I absolutely love. The funny thing about that is I started swimming and I've noticed things like firming up. I've noticed that my clothes are fitting differently. So even though I had a small loss on the scale this week, I feel like I did shrink just because I'm wearing smaller clothes now and things are looser. Once again, I'm struggling to get my fluids in. I have a really hard time remembering to drink water, or I really like the sugar-free Hawaiian Punch. I've been drinking that a lot, but I just forget. Like if I don't have my water bottle sitting next to me, I could not drink like all day long, and I know that's totally not good, and I know that that also hurts my weight loss because you need the fluids to keep your metabolism up and to keep, flushing out the fat. I try to think of it this way. I saw an episode of Oprah once where she was talking to Dr. Oz, and he made the point that if you're not drinking the water, the way that your metabolism works is that you basically, once the fat has metabolized in your body, to flush it out, it comes out in your bodily fluids, like your pee and in your sweat and stuff like that. So the more you can pee, the better, because you're like peeing out fat cells, right? So I'm trying to like think of that in my head, like, as another tool that I need to drink a lot of water, so the more I pee, the more weight I can lose. So I don't know, that's just something I've been trying to like mentally think about to get myself to drink more water. I recently came across a video that was brought to my attention. It was posted by Hazel-Eyed Daisy, and I wanted to respond a little bit to her in this video because she specifically mentioned me and said that she really identifies with the struggles that I go through, maybe my personality a little bit, and that she feels like I'm speaking, to her feelings a lot of the time. So I wanted to respond to some of the questions she was asking about if I'm scared to lose the weight. And I did a video like this a little bit earlier, but there's another take on it too that I wanted to mention, that it's true that I have really never been thin ever in my adult life. I've always been overweight. I started putting on weight pretty much right after high school. Although before high school I was always a chubby kid. I was the cute little chubby girl. Always. That was just me. And in high school I did tons of sports. I was on the tennis team. I ran track. I mean, I was a vegetarian. I ate hardly anything, and I was doing sports constantly, and I was really active. So even with all those activities, I still struggled with my weight in high school, and I still felt like I was probably the bigger girl among my friends. Although I have to admit, I look pretty hot looking back at the pictures, but I was still, on the bigger side of, the people that I ran with. So I guess over time, so much of my identity has evolved as being like the biggest girl in the room, because that's just what I always am. If I go to the grocery store and I look around, or if I go, wherever I'm at with family or whatever, I'm always just the biggest one there, and I've gotten used to that, and that's kind of been a part of my mentality for so many years, that it's going to be interesting to see how that changes as I shrink. One of the things that, as a consequence of always being the bigger girl, I think a lot of you can probably relate, you overcompensate for, maybe not having the best physical appearance by always being the funny one, or for me, I developed my sense of humor, and I would make people laugh. So if they could get something out of being with me, like if I was the fun girl, if I was fun to be around, if I had a great sense of humor, I felt like that made up for the fact that I was overweight and maybe not as attractive as other people. So yeah, it's kind of scary because I can't really picture myself as a thin person. I don't know, like, is my personality going to change? Am I still going to be that funny girl? Am I still going to feel like the fat girl even if I'm not the biggest girl in the room? I don't know. It is scary. The other thing that is a little bit difficult for me to kind of wrap my brain around is how your relationships change as you lose the weight. Relationships with family, maybe personal relationships, romantic relationships, they do change, and I've already noticed that a little bit. I've lost, a little bit over 80 pounds now, and some of my relatives that are used to having always been smaller than me are now either the same size that I am, or maybe even a little bigger, and they are treating me a little bit differently. Like, I noticed that before, when I was really big, we would always talk about weight loss, and it was no big deal. Like, I would, tell my cousins or whatever what diets I was going on, and they'd be really interested to know what I was doing, and they wanted to know how it was working, and they'd congratulate me, for my success or whatever. And now, like, I feel kind of awkward talking to them about my weight loss because I know that it's something that they struggle with, and they don't have this tool that I have. So it's just, I don't know if I'm feeling resentment from them for that or what it is, but it's just a different dynamic than what I'm used to. So that's something I've noticed. Yeah, so Hazel-eyed Daisy, I guess that's my response to you. I just, wanted to put that out there. Sorry, my dogs are barking in the other room. Hopefully they'll stop soon. Anyway, the other thing is I've been getting lots of questions emailed to me about surgery from people who are pre-op or people who are considering surgery, and I wanted to answer a few of these good questions that I got recently. So one person emailed and asked me if I had to do surgery again, would I do it? And the answer is yes, 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 I would do it. It was rugged in the beginning, as those of you know who watched my videos. It was, I had a lot of difficulty with nausea, and I just didn't feel well after my first month. This video is already 9 minutes, so I think I'm going to cut it here, and I'm going to answer these questions on the next video. So stay tuned. All right.